and today I'm interviewing Wenzday.
What's up? How's it going?
At 45 East in Portland, Oregon. So I'm going to ask her some questions. Starting with, what inspired you to start a career as a producer?
So I actually have a background in vocal performance. I thought I was going to be a singer. And while I was in college, I got diagnosed with vocal nodes, so I had to go on vocal rest, meaning complete silence. I had to walk around with a whiteboard. And that's really how I got into DJing and making music, because it was my way to communicate and still be part of the music community without having to speak for myself. And obviously now I'm healed and I can sing on my own tracks, but that really it was my outlet, because there was a long time where I was really frustrated that I couldn't perform in the medium that I was used to.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. All right. At the age of 16, you decided to take your career to the next step and move from the Bay Area to LA, which is where I'm from.
Nice.
How has this choice changed the trajectory of your career?
Yeah, so part of the move to Los Angeles is that my dad at the time got a job there, and so he was working in the nightlife space in Los Angeles, and I just saw, I love the Bay Area. It will always have a place in my heart, but LA is definitely the hub, specifically for like DJing and production, and I just knew that I needed to be where the majority of the shows were, the management, the talent agencies, etc. And so I could have stayed in San Francisco. There's a ton of producers who come out of there. It's an amazing city, but for me, I wanted it to happen a bit faster, and I thought that by ingratiating myself in a city where there was more opportunity was the move. And I was very fortunate that I was able to have the support of my dad and to be able to live with him. And he used to drive into my gigs and like wait in the parking lot, and so very, very fortunate that I was able to do that.
All right, we love parental support.
Exactly.
All right. Next question.
Yeah.
I want to say congrats on the release of
Thank
the
you.
song Shake.
Thank you.
Binge Watch.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yes, the makeup inspired. We love it.
What was the creative process behind this collab?
So Binge Watch, I've been saying this for months, is one of my favorite DJs. I don't want to say up and coming because he's been around for a minute. Has been dominating the underground tech house scene. Obviously, people know me from bass house and that genre, but I love tech house, and I've found myself the past couple months kind of going to like these underground tech parties, these warehouse parties, and that's where I first met Binge. And so he's kind of been my like guru navigator in the space, and I didn't want to be a tourist in the genre by any means. And so I thought by pairing up with him, not only would I be able to learn the genre, work with him, and obviously, it's so cool for me to be able to hear him playing out my songs, and he probably normally wouldn't. So for us to do a collab, to have him play out is really, really cool, and I geek out over that. So yeah, it was cool, and now he and I, we play a lot of parties together, we go back to back, and so yeah, that's kind of how it started.
Love that.
Thanks.
All right. You have worked with artists such as Kevin Flum, Lil Debbie, which literally is like one of the most baller collabs I've ever.
Thank you so much.
And now Binge Watch.
Yes.
Who would be your dream artist to collab with?
Hands down, Steve Aoki. Hands down. One, partly because as a Asian female in the scene, he's done a lot for the Asian community, and I also just always looked up to him and his work ethic, and him being able to navigate not only music but fashion, and now the NFT space, and all these different things. He's kind of a man of many hats, and and I've actually got to meet with him, work with him. I've released on Dimmock before, and just like the most down-to-earth guy, and I think it would be really cool to do a song with him.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
This isn't on my question, but are you looking to get into NFT stuff for your...
So I actually did an NFT. My graphic designer and creative director, he goes by Haley HG. He's out of the UK, and so he and I actually did an NFT about a year ago. He did the graphics. We came up with the concept together. I wrote an original song for it. It sold, and so that was really cool for me. I was like, I didn't know anything about the space, and so I figured if I do it, I'll learn in the process.
Yes.
And it's definitely something I'd be open to again. Just right now my touring schedule is kind of crazy, so
yes.
It was definitely a great COVID activity, and I think it's really, really cool to see all these DJs like Wookie and all these guys, Foster Damas, really in the space. It's cool.
We did an interview, I didn't but our publication did with Wookie, and we talked about it.
Oh, it's awesome. It's crazy.
Yeah, whole new space to navigate.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe some future stuff.
Yeah.
So your label 40 Ounce Cult has been around for many years now. What new stuff can we expect from your imprint this year?
Yes, so we are actually dropping, so we have moved to a compilation model of 40 Ounce Cult. I'm the label manager in A&R, and so we, next week we're dropping Cult Classics, which is our dubstep and rhythm compilation, so that's coming out next Friday.
Okay, I'll listen to that.
Yes, 100%, some amazing artists, and then next month, right before EDC, we're dropping Death by House Music Volume 3, which is the compilation series I curate personally. So a lot of really cool music, And I can't talk about the artists yet, but some really, really great artists are going to be releasing on that imprint. So.
All right, excited for that. And I'm also excited to see you at EDC this year.
Thank you. Yes.
It's my first year going, so.
Nice. Very cool.
I don't have money. Anyways.
Yes. I get it. It's expensive. I get it.
People go every year, and I'm like, ow.
I props to them. It's crazy.
For sure. All right. After touring many cities in the U.S., what are some international places that you are hoping to perform in, and why?
I would love to travel and perform in the UK, especially making house music. That's, obviously where the majority of it comes from. One of the very first labels I released on Gold Digger is out of Marseille, France. That's where all these guys, Bad Jokes, Abstract, all of them kind of came up on. And so it would be an honor and a privilege to be able to perform there with my music, especially being an American.
Yeah. I would definitely fly across the country.
Do it. Let's go.
All right. What are you hoping will set you apart from other performers for new fans seeing you live for the first time in your show tonight and the rest of your upcoming tour steps?
100%. I think especially with the Wenzday project, it's very centered around heartbreak and breakups. Heartbreak House was a concept EP and record and project, and with my sets, I like to tell a story, and it starts with whether if we're looking at a relationship context, it's start a relationship, something happens, obviously a breakup happens, and then the empowerment that comes with that, whether you are the breakup-ee or the breakup-er. And not all my songs are sad at breakup, but it's definitely a topic that I find connects and is received well by people because everyone's experienced it. And I think, if I can write a song that can help someone through a situation or empower them after a situation, then I've done my job. And because there's so much music that I, especially when I'm going through a situation like that I refer to and listen to. So if I can be that for someone else, it'd be amazing.
All right. This next question is more for me to get some inspo. But
yes.
You have had your hair dyed many different colors.
Yes.
From blonde to pink to neon green.
Yes.
What colors can we expect to see on you next?
Ooh, it's so funny because right now I'm rocking the bangs.
Yes.
We cut the neon green off, which is why I have the bangs. But it's funny. I kind of want to have a Christina Aguilera strip moment, so I think I might do some black. Either I may not dye it black, because it might be hard to get down to blonde, but I think maybe some extensions might be in my future.
Wow, that would be freaking amazing.
Thank you.
All right, 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Which of your tracks that you have produced has meant the most to you, and why?
Hands down, my song "The One," which came out on Mousetrap last year. I wrote that after a very long and painful breakup that kind of went back and forth, and it's definitely my most personal tune. It's definitely my saltiest tune. But that being said, it was something that I needed to do. I write poetry, and that's how I start with my lyrics, before melody, before drums, or anything else. And so when I was going through the breakup, I was writing these poems to help myself get through it and to realize it wasn't, it was one of those relationships where no one did anything bad, it just didn't work. And that's a really hard thing to digest sometimes, is that you're just not compatible. And that being said, I hope that song can resonate with people in that way, because you can take it as an angry song, you can take it as a sad song, you can take it as an empowering song. But yeah, hands down, the fact that deadmau5 himself, signed it and backed it was freaking awesome.
Awesome. All right, last question.
Yeah.
What does the rest of the year look like for you, and any upcoming plans you can share with us?
Yes, 100%. I have a ton of new music. I have a song dropping. We just dropped Shake. I have a song dropping next month, month after that. So I delayed releasing this past, early into spring, because I wanted the music I released in the fall to sit with people and, be familiar before touring started. So now I'm excited that the music I've been sitting on is going to come out.
Yeah.
Obviously EDC, I have multiple sets this EDC Las Vegas. I will be at Beyond the Gorge, which is kind of in your neck of the woods, and many, many other festivals that we'll be announcing soon. So just excited to be back on the road and connecting with fans and performing. Doing my thing.
Great. We're all excited to see you.
Thank you so much.
And that's all. Thank you so much for
Of
talking
course,
to me today.
of course. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The makeup is like the biggest compliment I could get. So thank you so much.